All right, good to see you on the Gabster channel. We're going to talk today about a DAC that Mathieu put together, and he's actually very excited about the sound. So let's have a look to see what kind of DAC he put together. All right, let's have a look at Matthew's DAC here. So let's break it down into three main components so we can understand it better. We have first the streamer part, and that is based on the IanCanada streamer parts with the Raspberry Pi. And up here you can see the DAC, which is my Gabster TD1 Dac. And the rest of the components are various power supplies for the streamer and the DAC. So let's start with the streamer. It's based on the Raspberry Pi. You can get those really inexpensively. And he's got it built on a platform by IanCanada, which is called Station Pi SMT. I'll put a link of all these in the description below. From there, the signal goes into the FIFO-Q7, which is actually reclocking the signal and making it a lot purer, less jitter, and much better. And then it goes into what we call a PCM board. It basically splits the I2S signal into left and right. And from there, it will go into my Gabster TD1 Dac. The Gabster TD1 Dac is based on the Vintage chip TDA1541a, and these were made in the mid-80s to early 90s. They are very, very good DACs. You can still find the odd ones here and there. You can actually build the Gabster TD1 DAC yourself using my kit that you see here, or in the case of Mathieu, he opted to get the all built and soldered one, and that's how it was shipped to him. And he then assembled it on top of all the streamer, added all the power supplies, and got it all together. Unlike some of the cheesy design that you see on the cheap AliExpress and things like that, the Gabster TD1 Dac was built on a 4-layer design. It's heavy with copper, and it's gold plated, and it's very tight, and the ground planes have been carefully designed. And you can then pick your own high quality Mauser parts that you know they're reliable, and from there connect it to good power supplies, and then it's just a marvelous sound. Once you get all these things together, you'll be amazed about the sound. You can see here three linear power supplies with what we call on top of them UC conditioners. These are the ultracapacitors. And on the very end, on the other side, you'll see two actually lines of big capacitors as well. This is for the 15 volt, and these are actually powered by a UC Pure, which is basically supplies power to the capacitor but disengages from them once they're full, and then they're running on their own on a very pure format. This is an excellent power supply, and that's what's actually powering the Gabster TD1 Dac digital side. Note that IanCanada just released a UC Pure Mini that just does the same thing, which is easier to build. The DAC also uses plus and minus 5 volts, so you need like 2 power supplies for that, and those go from the linear Pi into my Gabster CRC Dual Pro filter. This is not about filtering just the noise, it just brings the ESR, which is like the internal resistance, to a very staggering low number, basically 200 microohms. This is below any ultracapacitor. Here we can see we have a nice average power supply with a ripple just below the 10 millivolt ripple, adding a CRLC filter to it, and then we check again, and now we are close to the 10 microvolt level. So now you could see how we brought it down from the 7-8 millivolt level to the 10 microvolt level. And in the second example, we have actually a really good power supply. This is a power supply that can go down to basically 12 microvolt of ripple, added the CRLC filter, and it's all below the 1 microvolt level. Now you could see the power of reducing ESR with the CRLC filter. And the yellow cans that you see here, these are the ultracapacitors. It's a UC Pure Quad by IanCanada. It has a very low ESR, and it's actually actually supplied from time to time, but most of the time it's running on its own without being attached to a power supply. And that supplies a 3.3 volt to the clocks. And the clocks are the SC Pure. These are extremely low phase noise clocks, and they're also by IanCanada. Mathieu assembled all the parts, added all the power supplies. It takes a lot of time, you see it here, but it's actually a lot of work and it takes quite a bit of time to get it all wired correctly. He also added some transformers to power those linear power supplies, so you need quite a few of those. So at the end, he managed to get all the pieces together, but you still have to put it all in an enclosure at some point. Here you can see it on top of his system, and he's using a tube amplifier. This is a Kondo Okanago. It's a very high-end tube amplifier, and it's a great synergy between the Gabster TD1 Dac and a tube amplifier. I find that kind of synergy seems to work very well. Shortly after he assembled it, he sent me a little quick message. He said, "I'm really happy with it. The TD1 is really fantastic. I'm using it with a Kondo Okanago without a preamp, and it sounds incredible. The transparency is amazing, definitely not vintage. I won't go into all the details, but it is truly impressive." Mathieu sent me an email with his final review about the Gabster TD1 Dac. No, I did not pay him to say all these great things. I'm going to put a link of it in the description below. I encourage you to read it all. But I'm going to go through the highlights and hear what he says. From the very first moment listening to the TD1 assembled on the IanCanada platform, several qualities appeared simultaneously and unmistakably: naturalness, musicality, and spatial realism. What struck me the most immediately was the distinct liquid quality of the sound. Everything flows effortlessly without tension or artificial articulation. At the same time, there is a strong sense of spatial coherence, an impression that all instruments belong to the same acoustic space. The most revelatory aspect of the Dac is its three-dimensional soundstage. Contrary to the cliché often associated with the vintage R2R designs, the TD1 sounds anything but old-fashioned. A particular highlight is the bass, deep, articulate, and beautifully integrated into the whole, never detached or overemphasized. To be clear and honest, compared to excellent Delta Sigma Dacs, there is a slight softening of attacks and apparent resolution, but in return, you gain superior temporal coherence and musical flow, qualities that, over time, prove more convincing musically. This is quite simply the best Dac I have ever heard. To my ears, the TD1 with the TDA selection delivers a level of holography, realism, and musical coherence that I never had experienced before. It does not impress me by sound being different, but being right, a true revelation, and a benchmark that will be difficult to surpass. I'll put a copy of the letter in the description below in case you want to see the entire thing and not just the highlights. So as you can see, the Dac that Mathieu built, it looks really good, sounds really good, and now we just have to put it basically in an enclosure and kind of make it a little bit safer. But this comes with a bit of time, and I'm sure he'll get to that. Now, if you have not been on my Patreon channel, I strongly encourage you to see. We talk about a lot of different things that we do not talk about here on YouTube, and it's very inexpensive, might be the best investment you could make. Also, I'm going to put a couple videos in the corners here about different Dacs that different people built, and there'll be a speaker if you'd like to subscribe to the channel and support me as well. Take care, and I hope to see you again.